Hi, my beloveds. Oh, I'm so grateful to be here with each and every one of you. My goodness, happy Father's Day. Happy, happy, happy. Just knowing that the divine manifests as both father and mother. So we're in this Father's Day season. It's very, very interesting because the masculine aspect of God has always gotten such a negative rap, or as with the more modern movements in the 20th and 21st century. And especially right now with this idea of toxic masculinity. But it's so interesting that my mother is staying at Bethany House in Framingham, which is run by the Sisters of St. Joseph. And my mother has been giving or praying a novena for my nephews by invoking the very presence of St. Joseph. And the other day, I overheard her listening to a sermon about him. That St. Joseph, in the quantum metaphysical symbolism, is considered the surrogate father to Jesus, the greatest guru. And his sole role was to protect the child and the divine feminine on planet Earth. There's not much said about him after the dreams that he received. This young man, vital in his 30s, that was told by an angel that his betrothed would soon bear a child. He wrestled with those ideas, the angelic thoughts, the higher thoughts, as we do. Many times we are sent downloads and we wrestle with these divine ideas, these angels that manifest in dreams. Divine ideas that will give us freedom, freedom from want of lack, sorrow, grief, freedom from worry, freedom from agitation, freedom from despair. It might be a book, it might be a workshop, it might be a place to go or an activity to do or a person to call. We are always receiving divine ideas. Well, Joseph, in his wisdom and choosing to dwell in higher consciousness, followed the guidance of spirit and married Mary. So the masculine and the feminine became united. And he became that positive, healthy, masculine presence for Jesus. It's very interesting that the positive masculine is also a builder. He was a carpenter. He used his hands. He worked with natural, organic materials, building, constructing. This Judeo-Christian text that our ancestors left us has so much symbolism. What are you constructing in your life? What are you building by right of consciousness? I am in the middle of a trial and season of tribulation. I'm literally, this month marks 2 years that 2 years ago, I had to make a spiritually rooted life or death decision about my future. And there were no guarantees that I would be here. But I thought, if I'm to be here, what would be my bodily state? There were meetings, there was anguish, There was loss. I lost deep connections with people, but I had to choose what I was going to build into my consciousness and thus into my reality for a future that was unknown. I did not know in any capacity that I would be here this June 2026. And on the 21st, I was weeping 2 years ago because I had to decide whether I would have a procedure that could radically change my life and body on the 24th of June. So I had to anchor into the principle of the divine masculine within me, the directive, determined, active principle of the universe. I had to take action. These holidays, as I've mentioned many times, hold deeper meaning, powerful, esoteric meanings. On a superficial level, this holiday comes up every year because if you have not forgiven your father, whether he's alive or father figures, whether they are alive or dead, that is the first assignment. Jesus, the greatest guru, was very strict with the principle of forgiveness. It's probably the most strict that he's ever been. In the Bible, Peter asks Jesus, how many times should I forgive my brother? And Jesus says 70 times 7 times. And pray for your enemies and do good for those people who persecute and hate you. There is no abstraction. There's no metaphor. Pure principle. Pray for your enemies. Do good for those who hate you. And before you begin to say, I don't want to forgive anymore and I'm justified, at minimum, you must forgive 70 times 7 times. So every year that this holiday comes about is an opportunity for us to remove another onion layer from the resentment that we may be holding towards government, masculine energy, towards presidents, masculine energies, towards the boss, masculine energy, towards the banking system, masculine energy, towards the academy, towards the doctors, towards the ex-husbands, towards the husbands, towards the friends, towards the father figures, the priest, the rabbi, the uncle, the mean neighbor. Are you willing to forgive the misaligned masculine energies that have shown up in your life? And as you forgive misalignment, because we are all humans having spiritual beings having a human incarnation and highly triggered inner children trying to communicate with each other, hurt people, as you hold on to grudges and do not want to release issues around fathering, masculinity, you will not have the assertive, go-getting, moving, powerful energy that allows you to accomplish your soul's calling on this planet. You will be blocked energetically because the masculine, the yang energy of life is forward moving. So when the masculine, the misaligned masculine goes unforgiven, you block your own energy. If you feel stuck and stagnant, it is because there are unhealed wounds around a masculine figure in your life, in your consciousness. Consciousness. We are cleaning up consciousness here, beloveds. This is inner work. Even the idea of, oh, I'm gaining weight. Why can't I exercise? I don't have energy. I have lethargy. There are spiritual causes to this lack of energy. And it is not simply, oh, I'm getting old. Do you know what it is? Oh, I've been holding on to this unforgiveness for decades. That's what's blocking us, you, me, all of us. Beautiful ones. Louise Hay, one of the master teachers who simplified so much of esoteric wisdom, reminds us, be willing to forgive. I am willing to be willing to be willing to forgive the misaligned masculine within my consciousness. So I can be freed to have endless energy and to take action in my life. I use father a lot. My father was a beautiful and brilliant man. He was a wonderful father, an active father, until I was about 14 years old. My parents divorced, and at the time, I would say culturally, just the way it was, I think my father felt that that meant he was no longer responsible for fathering us. And I think it was really cultural. I think this idea of co-parenting, please, for global South people, I don't even know if that was even a thing. So my father's approach was very hands-off, extremely kind, interesting, fun when we saw each other, but there weren't lots of phone calls. My mother would constantly ask him, call your children, they're teenagers, they need you, blah, blah, blah. But my mother has always been very expansive, intuitive, expansive, with an emotional intelligence that's off the charts. My father was a mathematician and taught Greek for the UN. He was brilliant. I learned the root word. That's why I love looking up the root words of things. The French, the Latin. I took Latin for 4 years. Language and math, and they went together because the Greeks were the masters of architecture, and architecture's math. So my father was a brilliant mathematician. So he was very logical. And from a context where you didn't become an active dad through a divorce. I've had to forgive my father. I've had to let go of the coal that I'm holding, thinking that I'm hurting him as I continue to hurt and block myself. What healed that for me was having a romance, true love experience with the masculine aspect of spirit. Father, God, El Shaddai. I'm inundated with mother, yin energy. I won the lottery with the mother that I have. I needed to balance. And this is a lifelong journey. But facing death helped me to drop the rock very quickly. So as Reverend Carlos reminds us, our master teacher, my mentor, he always says that if you had a wonderful father, you had a father who was a wonderful elder brother, advanced, spiritually attuned, aligned, as opposed to misaligned. If you have a father that didn't give you the things that you needed as a child and wasn't present, even if they may have been physically present, you have a younger brother who really didn't get the rules to the universal experience that we are having on planet Earth, and you got the gift of being pushed to awaken to the truth that you are not a victim. You are a powerful child of God. endowed with masculine and feminine, and you were given the assignment to balance your yang faculties. So many times when there's unforgiveness around the misaligned masculine, there can be aggressive tendencies, but you can get super agitated, angry all the time, and toxic. Toxic in the sense of masculinity, taking risks that jeopardize your livelihood, your body, your mind, your spirit. Abuse, addiction, not caring for the self and the inner child. This universe, created by the one power and the one presence, is asking us to be in balance, is asking us to, as scripture says, create in me a clean spirit, to cleanse our consciousness and our spirits in order that we truly align with universal spirit and become the gods, small g, that we were created to be. Activated humans. Activated because we are awakened to our spirit self, our soul self, and we mesh that with our powerful humanity, and we become activated, spiritually activated human beings who can actually heal our bodies, change our circumstances, live with devotion to the one power and the one presence, and change the world. But if we want to remain childish and hold on to unforgiveness for decades, we will block our spiritual activation. So when the misaligned masculine, the men in your life, the male father figures or fathers have disappointed you, you have the opportunity and gift to turn to the presence that is never an absence, begin a love affair with the yang masculine aspect of life, and forgive the ego and limited consciousness of that person or persons who disappointed and hurt you. You are being called to turn away from the ego and humans and what they do and do not do, and focus your heart and mind, little by little, not in perfection, on the one power and the true Father, creator, progenitor of the universe, whose role is to continuously guide, protect, and provide for you. So all of these so-called dysfunctional experiences that we've had in childhood or in adulthood or whatever, betrayals, can be healed. If thy eye be single, thy body shall be filled with light. If we keep our third eye, our divine eye, the all-seeing eye, on the presence within us, our body will be filled with light. Our circumstances will change. We will awaken spiritually. We will have the joy that the world can't give you and the world can't take away. And we will abide in the peace that passes all understanding. The choice is ours. So I say to all of you and to myself, happy, happy Father's Day. I am so happy to have a cosmic Father that kept me alive when I should have been dead, And that is what I'm celebrating. No matter what the appearances may be, the cosmic Father is always available for us. Start a love affair with that aspect of the Godhead. And so it is.